Chosen ones, Archangel Michael is saying only 33 seconds left. God has sent a person to your door tonight. A surprise will change everything. Do not skip this message. My beloved child, this is not coincidence. This is not another random video appearing before you while scrolling through your night. Heaven interrupted your path for a reason. Archangel Michael says someone has already been spiritually assigned to reach you tonight, and what they carry is connected to prayers you thought heaven had forgotten years ago. Stay with me carefully because this message may change how you respond to every unexpected knock, phone call, or message you receive before this night ends. Archangel Michael says tonight is not an ordinary night. A divine appointment has already been scheduled in heaven concerning your life. My beloved child, there are moments where heaven moves quietly behind ordinary situations, and chosen people only recognize those moments if their spirit stays awake. That is why Michael is warning you personally now. Do not ignore this message. Do not close this video halfway. Because the enemy often distracts people moments before restoration finally reaches their door. Stay with me carefully because this next part matters deeply. Archangel Michael says someone is being sent to you tonight, but this person is not arriving by accident or personal impulse alone. Heaven pushed this moment into motion. A conversation was placed in their spirit. A memory about you returned suddenly into their mind. Restlessness entered their thoughts. My beloved child, while you were sitting quietly wondering whether anyone truly remembered you anymore, heaven was already preparing movement behind the scenes without your knowledge. Archangel Michael says if you close the door emotionally tonight, you may delay what heaven spent months preparing spiritually. This is not only about opening a physical door. It is about opening the door of your heart again after disappointment convinced you to expect rejection from everyone. My beloved child, disappointment made you emotionally guarded. Pain taught you to stop expecting people to show up sincerely. Too many visitors in your life came only when they needed something from you. Too many people disappeared once your usefulness ended. Slowly, you stopped believing anyone would come carrying genuine care, restoration, or peace. But Archangel Michael says tonight is different. Tonight carries heaven's seal. My beloved child, this message is not trying to create fear inside you. It is creating awareness before a divine moment unfolds. Some blessings arrive through opportunities. Some blessings arrive through conversations. Some blessings arrive through people unexpectedly appearing after long silence. Heaven often uses ordinary human moments to deliver extraordinary emotional restoration. Stay with me because heaven is revealing something important now. Archangel Michael says only a short spiritual window remains open tonight. Many chosen people miss important moments because they ignore small signs. They silence unexpected calls. They avoid opening the door. They assume every surprise will bring more disappointment because pain trained them to expect rejection first. But my beloved child, heaven is asking you not to rehearse rejection anymore before the moment even arrives. Archangel Michael says Michael himself has been assigned to protect this divine appointment tonight. The enemy tried delaying it through fear, hesitation, guilt, and emotional distance. But heaven already issued the command, no further delay. My beloved child, what is approaching tonight carries emotional significance far deeper than you currently understand. Stay with me carefully because what comes next will reveal why this visitor has been thinking about you for much longer than you realize and why heaven says your loneliness season is beginning to shift starting tonight. My beloved child, stay with me carefully because heaven wants to speak directly to the loneliness you carried quietly for years. Archangel Michael says many chosen people listening right now understand what it feels like to sit in silence night after night wondering whether anyone genuinely thinks about them anymore. You kept the door open emotionally for so long, hoping someone would come with sincerity, kindness, or comfort. But most days passed quietly. The phone stayed silent. The house stayed quiet. And the waiting slowly became heavier than words could explain. Archangel Michael says there were evenings where you sat alone while the world around you seemed busy with families, gatherings, celebrations, and conversations that no longer included you the way they once did. My beloved child, some family members slowly created distance without fully realizing how deeply it hurt you. They became busy with their own lives, their own schedules, and their own problems. Visits became shorter. Calls became rare. Sometimes they appeared only during holidays or when they needed something from you emotionally, financially, or practically. And after they left, the silence inside your home felt even louder than before. Stay with me carefully because this next part matters deeply. Archangel Michael says one of your deepest wounds came from feeling emotionally forgotten while still carrying love for everyone else inside your heart. You kept remembering birthdays. You kept praying for people. You kept worrying about others even while quietly asking yourself one painful question: does anyone genuinely think about me anymore? My beloved child, heaven heard every moment you asked that question silently inside your spirit. Even when nobody else noticed your tears, heaven noticed them immediately. Archangel Michael says financial pressure added even more emotional exhaustion to your waiting season. Some nights you worried about bills, unexpected expenses, health costs, or becoming a burden to your family one day. You wondered what would happen if your health suddenly worsened and nobody arrived quickly enough to help you. My beloved child, fear often grows stronger during lonely seasons because silence gives anxious thoughts too much room inside the mind. The enemy wanted loneliness to convince you that your life no longer carried importance or emotional value. But heaven never agreed with that lie. Stay with me because heaven is revealing something important now. Archangel Michael says the waiting season was never proof that you were unloved. The silence around you was not proof that your prayers disappeared unheard. Sometimes chosen people experience lonely seasons because emotional isolation creates deeper awareness, stronger discernment, and greater appreciation for sincere connection when it finally arrives. My beloved child, heaven was preparing your heart carefully during these quiet years even when the preparation felt painful. Archangel Michael says many people entered your life temporarily, but few carried genuine emotional sincerity. Too many conversations felt shallow. Too many visits carried hidden motives. Too many relationships drained your spirit instead of strengthening it. Slowly, disappointment taught you to expect less from people because expecting less felt emotionally safer than hoping strongly again. But heaven says your heart was never created to remain permanently closed behind disappointment and fear. Stay with me carefully because this next revelation changes everything. Archangel Michael says tonight someone is approaching your life carrying thoughts about you that have been growing stronger for longer than you realize. While you believed everyone forgot you, heaven was already moving inside someone else's heart quietly. Memories returned to them unexpectedly. Regret returned unexpectedly. Concern returned unexpectedly. My beloved child, heaven often prepares restoration invisibly before it becomes visible physically. Archangel Michael says tonight is not only about a visitor reaching your door. It is about heaven answering the loneliness you believe nobody fully understood. And what comes next will reveal exactly who this person is and why God personally commanded them to come tonight without delaying any longer. My beloved child, stay with me carefully because Archangel Michael says this is the moment where heaven reveals who this person truly is and why tonight carries deeper spiritual meaning than you currently understand. This visitor is not arriving randomly. They are not moving only through personal emotion, guilt, or curiosity. Heaven placed this appointment into motion deliberately. A spiritual command was released, and their heart could no longer ignore the pull guiding them toward you tonight. Archangel Michael says the first revelation is this: the person approaching your life has been sent under God's instruction. My beloved child, throughout Scripture, heaven often used unexpected visitors to deliver restoration, direction, and blessing during emotionally difficult seasons. Remember Abraham. 3 visitors arrived unexpectedly near his tent, and what looked ordinary at first carried heaven's promise hidden inside it. The blessing appeared through people arriving at the right moment. Heaven still works this way even now. Sometimes the answer to a prayer walks toward your door quietly before you recognize what is happening spiritually. Stay with me carefully because this next part matters deeply. Archangel Michael says Jesus himself taught, "I was a stranger and you invited me in." My beloved child, fear, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion made you hesitant to trust people again. Pain trained your spirit to expect rejection before connection. Some of you stopped answering calls quickly. Some of you emotionally closed the door long before physically closing it. And heaven understands why. Too many people disappointed you repeatedly. Too many relationships carried hidden selfishness instead of sincere care. But Archangel Michael says tonight is different because heaven already touched the heart of the person being sent toward you. Pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, have you become so afraid of disappointment that you stopped expecting sincere connection completely? My beloved child, heaven is asking you not to let old pain block new restoration tonight. Some blessings arrive disguised as ordinary human moments before revealing their true importance later. Archangel Michael says the second revelation is this: the person coming carries a threefold surprise connected directly to your emotional waiting season. The first surprise is a message your spirit has waited years to hear. Words of apology. Words of honesty. Words of appreciation. Words bringing emotional clarity after long confusion and silence. My beloved child, heaven knows how deeply you longed for certain conversations that never happened when they should have. Tonight may begin shifting that silence. Stay with me because heaven is revealing even more now. Archangel Michael says the second surprise involves financial movement connected to what felt delayed or blocked unfairly in your life. This is not merely about money falling from the sky suddenly. It is about opportunities, support, assistance, release, and practical movement entering areas where stress controlled your emotions for too long. My beloved child, heaven never intended for fear and lack to dominate your thoughts permanently. Archangel Michael says the third surprise involves restoration of a broken emotional connection. Someone who once hurt your heart may return carrying regret, humility, or the desire to make peace. My beloved child, not every broken relationship remains broken forever when heaven begins softening hearts behind the scenes quietly. Pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, which of these surprises does your spirit need most tonight? Stay with me carefully because this next revelation changes everything. Archangel Michael says the person coming tonight almost did not come at all. Fear held them back. Guilt held them back. Shame whispered that too much time had already passed. But heaven interrupted their hesitation. Archangel Michael pushed them forward spiritually with one command: go now. Do not wait another night. My beloved child, this is not coincidence. This is a divine appointment prepared for both of you long before tonight arrived. My beloved child, stay with me carefully because Archangel Michael says this is the moment where heaven's authority speaks directly over tonight's appointment. What is approaching your life is not random emotion, temporary curiosity, or coincidence. This meeting carries heaven's timing upon it. You thought certain doors closed forever. You thought certain people would never return emotionally. You thought some conversations would remain unfinished for the rest of your life. But heaven continued moving behind the scenes while you believed everything had already ended permanently. Archangel Michael says open your door tonight, not only the physical door of your home, but the emotional door of your heart. My beloved child, disappointment taught you to protect yourself from future pain by expecting rejection before connection. Some of you stopped answering unexpected calls because too many conversations brought stress instead of peace. Some of you emotionally disconnected from people long ago because loneliness felt safer than being hurt repeatedly. But heaven says the person being sent tonight carries something connected to your answered prayers. Stay with me carefully because this next decree matters deeply. Archangel Michael says stop rehearsing rejection inside your mind before this moment even arrives. Too many chosen people expect disappointment automatically because painful experiences trained their thoughts to fear hope. My beloved child, the person approaching your life tonight has already been softened spiritually. Regret softened them. Reflection softened them. Loneliness softened them. And heaven used those quiet emotional battles to prepare them for this moment. What once felt impossible emotionally is becoming possible through divine timing. Archangel Michael says what this person carries is not only words. It is a divine transaction connected to restoration, peace, healing, and movement. My beloved child, some blessings do not arrive through dramatic miracles falling from the sky. Some blessings arrive through conversations that reopen doors. Through apologies that heal wounds. Through opportunities hidden inside human connection. Through relationships restored after long silence. Heaven often uses ordinary people to deliver extraordinary emotional breakthroughs. Stay with me because heaven is revealing something powerful now. Archangel Michael says you questioned the timing for years. You wondered why heaven stayed silent while loneliness grew heavier around you. You wondered why restoration never arrived when you prayed for it earlier. But my beloved child, heaven was preparing both the person and the blessing simultaneously. Certain hearts needed softening first. Certain fears needed breaking first. Certain emotional walls needed weakening first. If this appointment happened earlier, pride, anger, fear, or emotional immaturity may have destroyed it before restoration could fully begin. Archangel Michael says tonight carries heaven's blue flame seal. Imagine the blue flame surrounding the person approaching your life now. That flame represents protection, peace, clarity, and divine authorization. My beloved child, the enemy tried delaying this appointment through fear, shame, guilt, emotional distance, and hesitation. But Archangel Michael already released the decree: no further objection. What heaven scheduled for tonight cannot be permanently cancelled by fear, delay, or human weakness anymore. Stay with me carefully because this next revelation changes everything. Archangel Michael says tonight is the appointed time. Not next month. Not next year. Tonight. Some chosen people ignore important moments because they assume opportunities will always return later. But heaven says remain spiritually awake now. Do not allow fear to close your heart before restoration reaches your door. My beloved child, what heaven has scheduled cannot be permanently cancelled by darkness. And what is approaching your life tonight carries emotional significance far greater than you currently realize. Stay ready. Stay calm. Stay spiritually aware. Because the final part will reveal how to respond when the knock, message, or unexpected call finally arrives before this night ends. My beloved child, stay with me carefully because this final moment is not about fear. It is about readiness, awareness, and peace. Archangel Michael says many chosen people miss important moments because disappointment trained them to expect rejection before restoration. They silence calls they should answer. They ignore messages they should read. They emotionally close the door before heaven even has the chance to move. But tonight heaven is asking you to remain spiritually awake and emotionally open to what may unfold around you. Archangel Michael says from this moment until tonight ends, do not ignore every unexpected knock, message, or phone call automatically. My beloved child, this does not mean living in fear or suspicion. It means remaining aware. Heaven often works through ordinary moments people almost dismiss carelessly. A conversation may begin quietly and later reveal deeper meaning. A message may arrive unexpectedly carrying emotional clarity you waited years to hear. Some breakthroughs arrive softly before people recognize their importance fully. Stay with me carefully because this next part matters deeply. Archangel Michael says tonight is not only about someone reaching your physical door. It is also about heaven asking you to open the emotional door that pain forced shut years ago. Loneliness hardened parts of your spirit slowly. Disappointment taught you emotional distance. Fear whispered that nobody genuinely cared anymore. But my beloved child, heaven never intended for your heart to remain permanently locked behind old pain. Archangel Michael says if you are ready to receive tonight's visitor emotionally and spiritually, type these words slowly in the comments: I open the door. Do not type them casually. Feel the meaning behind those words. This is not about blind trust in strangers. It is about releasing agreement with hopelessness and emotional isolation. My beloved child, every time you choose awareness over fear, your spirit becomes more open to peace and restoration entering your life naturally. Stay with me because heaven is still speaking to you now. Archangel Michael says type Amen if you believe God's timing still carries purpose even after long seasons of waiting. Many chosen people lost confidence in timing because delay exhausted their hope emotionally. But heaven says delays do not erase destiny. Some blessings simply require preparation happening behind the scenes before they can safely arrive. Archangel Michael says type Michael if you felt the blue flame of peace and protection surrounding your home during this message tonight. My beloved child, that blue flame represents calmness, clarity, wisdom, and spiritual covering over your thoughts, emotions, and household. Imagine Archangel Michael standing beside your door tonight, protecting your peace from fear, confusion, and emotional chaos. Stay with me carefully for this final prayer. Archangel Michael says, Heavenly Father, surround this chosen one and their home with peace, wisdom, and protection tonight. Remove fear, hopelessness, and emotional isolation from their spirit. Let every conversation, message, and encounter unfold according to divine wisdom. Protect their heart from disappointment and guide them with clarity if restoration approaches their life tonight. May your peace rest over their thoughts, their home, and every doorway connected to their future. My beloved child, share this message with one person spending tonight alone emotionally. Heaven may use you to become the unexpected encouragement arriving at someone else's door when they need it most. My beloved child, stay with me for this final moment, because Archangel Michael says heaven does not want you ending this message with fear inside your heart. This message was never meant to create panic or paranoia about every sound outside your home tonight. It was meant to awaken awareness, hope, and emotional openness after long seasons of loneliness and disappointment. Too many chosen people spent years believing no one truly remembered them anymore. Too many nights passed in silence until silence itself became emotionally normal. But heaven says your life was never invisible, even during your quietest seasons. Archangel Michael says loneliness changes people slowly. It teaches the heart to expect less. It teaches the mind to prepare for disappointment before hope even has a chance to appear. My beloved child, after enough painful experiences, many people stop believing sincere connection still exists. They stop trusting unexpected kindness. They stop expecting emotional restoration because survival became easier than vulnerability. But heaven never intended for your spirit to remain trapped behind emotional walls forever. Stay with me carefully, because this next part matters deeply. Archangel Michael says tonight is not only about a physical visitor. It is about restoration, finding the parts of your heart that almost gave up waiting. Some of you needed this message not because someone will literally knock at your door tonight, but because your spirit needed reminding that you are still remembered, still valuable, and still deeply seen by heaven. My beloved child, God has never forgotten the tears you cried privately, the prayers you whispered quietly, or the loneliness you carried silently while pretending everything was fine around others. Archangel Michael says there are people thinking about you right now, even if distance and silence made it difficult to see clearly. Some carry regret. Some carry love they never expressed properly. Some carry appreciation they communicated far too rarely. My beloved child, heaven often works through human hearts quietly before visible movement appears. A phone call. A message. A conversation. A reunion. Sometimes restoration begins through small moments that seem ordinary at first. Stay with me, because heaven is revealing something important now. Archangel Michael says do not allow fear of disappointment to stop you from recognizing genuine moments of connection when they appear. Pain made you cautious for understandable reasons. But caution should not become emotional imprisonment. My beloved child, wisdom protects peace, but hopelessness isolates the heart unnecessarily. Heaven is asking you to remain emotionally aware without becoming emotionally closed. Archangel Michael says continue protecting your peace tonight. If your phone rings unexpectedly, answer calmly. If someone reaches out emotionally, respond with wisdom instead of fear. If no physical visitor appears tonight, do not believe heaven failed you. This message is larger than one literal moment. It is about opening your spirit again to the possibility that restoration, connection, and peace still belong in your future after years of emotional exhaustion. Stay with me carefully for this final reminder. Archangel Michael says what heaven schedules cannot be permanently cancelled by fear, delay, loneliness, or past disappointment. Your story is still unfolding. Your spirit is still valuable. Your life still carries emotional purpose beyond this current season. My beloved child, go into tonight carrying peace instead of anxiety, awareness instead of hopelessness, and calmness instead of fear. Heaven is still moving quietly behind the scenes even when you cannot fully see it yet.